As a physiotherapy profession, we are confused. With new roles emerging and an emphasis placed on advanced skills, are we losing sight of what our true role is as physios? In this video, I'm going to let you know why this confusion has happened and what roles we need to focus on to ensure that we don't lose our identity. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Mahin and I'm an advanced practice physiotherapist specialising in pain management based in the UK. On this channel, we explore lifestyle strategies and tools to help people manage pain and create healthier and happier lives. Today, I'll let you know what our actual role should be as physiotherapists. So let's get into it. There is confusion, not only for physios working in one particular area, for example MSK, and all of the treatment options available that range from exercise to acupuncture, but also due to new roles emerging, such as that of advanced physiotherapists and first contact practitioners. Here there is confusion and blurring of the lines of whether our role sits predominantly in the areas of diagnostics, pathology screening and assessment, interventions such as injections and medication optimizations, or good old-fashioned rehab. Too often I see physios over the years lose their rehab skills as their roles take on more of a diagnostic and triage emphasis. And our profession often rewards those who wish to progress their careers into specialist areas and developing new extended skills such as diagnostics, injections and prescribing, rather than those who keep their focus on rehab. This can be very confusing for new graduates starting their careers or for experienced physios looking to take that next step in their careers, especially if they don't have an interest in developing these extended skills and want to keep their focus more on the fundamentals such as rehab. And most of us would have chosen a career in physiotherapy because we want to help rehab people better and get them back to the activities that they want to do. However, the current career developmental model almost forces people to take on these new skills that sit outside of this in order to progress. Currently, all the advanced practice physios and first contact practitioners within my service, including myself, either inject or prescribe for these roles. It's also fair to say that many APPs or FCPs in the country have de-skilled in rehab. So reflecting on this naturally leaves me questioning, what is our actual role as physios? In my opinion, we need more physios acting as generalists within specific specialist fields to help those with long-term conditions, comorbidities and complex needs improve their overall health and well-being. I like to think of myself as a generalist within the specialist area of pain management because nothing I do on a day-to-day basis with patients is specific. I understand that some of our role is helping ease the burden on our medical colleagues, and I understand the importance of screening for serious conditions. However, with a lean towards advanced skills such as injecting or prescribing, we are supporting more of a biomedical model than a holistic, individualized, biopsychosocial or social model of healthcare. We are becoming an increasing contribution to the over-medicalized society that we live in. So aside from screening for red flags or serious conditions, which are obviously an important role for us as physios, I actually think that our two main roles as physios are as follows. Firstly, rehab. This involves getting people back to or starting the activities they want to do, which can include work, hobbies, sport, and daily activities of living, including washing, dressing, housework, and gardening. Secondly, our role is to improve the health of our patients to prevent or reduce the effect of long-term conditions and reduce the likelihood of readmission or representation. But let's first talk about rehab. As I mentioned, rehabilitation is our primary role as physiotherapists, and this will come in many different forms and look different for a respiratory physio working in an ITU compared to a neurophysio working in outpatients, compared to a physio working in elite sport with athletes. But the bottom line is the same. We're aiming to improve someone's function to help them get back to, keep doing, or begin doing the activity that is meaningful and important to them. If we remember this, everything else falls into place, including our rehab plans. More times than I like to admit, I find myself looking at other physios' exercise plans and thinking to myself, what is the activity that they're trying to help this patient get back to? Unfortunately, we don't spend enough time finding out what the meaningful activities are for a patient before issuing them a sheet of multiple exercises that are standard and basic. The reason I refer to this as an exercise plan and not a rehab plan is because this isn't rehab. Remember, rehab is improving someone's function in relation to an activity they want to get back to. And not all exercises will do that if they're not specific to the patient's goals. If someone has back pain and has a goal of wanting to be able to get on and off the floor to be able to play with their kids, help them practice getting on and off the floor. It's that easy. Don't give them an exercise where they're lying on their back, swinging their legs from side to side, unless of course that's a game that they're wanting to play with their kids. The other problem with this standard sheet of exercise approach can be seen when we compare it to how we approach diet changes. We all know the issue with diets, okay? We do a diet for a short period of time, maybe someone loses weight, okay, if that's the aim of going onto that diet. But as soon as they stop doing that diet, things return to normal and the weight's put back on again. We see this all the time, okay? And this is my issue with the term dieting, because dieting is a very short-term thing rather than a long-term solution that fits in with someone's lifestyle. And it's the same with exercises. So if we're giving someone a sheet of exercises, we're almost saying to them, oh, do this while you have the issue. Once the issue's gone, then stop doing this. But actually, really, a lot of the time, people might be living with long-term conditions. So they're just going to be doing these sheet of exercises for how long? For the rest of their lives? Is that good enough as physios to be giving them that? But also, are we really looking at what may have caused this in the first place? Okay. By giving someone a sheet of exercises, we're probably not improving their overall health by that much, if we really think about it. If we're doing a sheet of exercise, we're lying on the floor or, doing something that's actually quite low resistance, and we're doing that, once or twice a day. Is that really improving someone's health? It might improve their mobility, which in turn might make someone more active, but we're not necessarily talking about those other activity things. So we're not necessarily helping people to improve their general activity levels or improve their health past that sheet of exercises. And I think our role as physios is much more than just giving out exercises. So in the same way that someone's diet has to fit in with their lifestyle, it's the same with exercise. Exercise and activity must fit in with someone's lifestyle so that they continue to do this in the future. As I mentioned, for me, rehab also includes keeping people doing what they love doing. And for this, we need to focus on improving overall health and well-being through lifestyle. To improve the health of our population, healthcare system efficiency, and reduce costs, we must embrace a social model of healthcare that is more rehabilitative, preventative, and empowering of patients and community. An extract that I've taken from the Chartered Society of Physiotherapy's paper on the future shape of our physiotherapy workforce states, the core values of physiotherapy include taking a comprehensive approach to an individual's health and well-being and the wider determinants of health and recovery, working with patients as active partners in their own recovery and maintenance of health, and minimizing the impact of illness or injury on individuals. These values are central to physiotherapy's clinical and cost effectiveness and have a strong correlation with the changes needed for the future health and care system. We are best placed with longer appointment or contact times than other healthcare professionals to help patients improve their lifestyle through behavior change. I mean, how many patients do you see day to day who've been referred to your service or admitted to hospital previously for a similar problem? When I was working as a musculoskeletal physio, I know that most of my patients had presented with a different musculoskeletal complaint within the last year or two. Musculoskeletal health, like all divisions of health, is heavily influenced by overall health and well-being. Poor MSK health is often linked to poor general health, which is often linked to lifestyle. So by only helping a patient with their particular complaint at the time of seeing us is only scratching at the surface of a otherwise bigger issue that, if not addressed, will lead to representation in the future, again for a similar condition. In the end, by preventing poor MSK health or any other divisions of health related to the area that you work in, whether it's respiratory, neuro or otherwise, we will reduce the number of referrals and attendances by an individual, not only improving their quality of life, but also saving costs, time, and workload for the profession. I'm sure you'll agree this sounds ideal. However, the current UK systems traditionally work on a medical illness focus model, tending to treat illness as a one-off event that happens in isolation. They are unbalanced with inadequate preventative and health maintaining services in primary, community, and social care, driving people into the most expensive parts of healthcare provision, being secondary care, hospital-based medicine. The combination of changing needs and the way the system traditionally works means that as a society, we are not providing ourselves with the care we need to fulfill our potential for health and well-being, or avoid unnecessary disability and pain. This is also financially unsustainable. So, what can decision makers do to help this? Firstly, better training, guidance, and pay for FCP roles. This gives us the opportunity as physios to get it right first time at the first point of contact for a patient. I do feel that physios going into these roles shouldn't be expected to have injecting or prescribing qualifications, as this limits the number of applicants, especially those who are rehab and lifestyle centric. Secondly, promote and place greater value on the work of generalist, domiciliary and community rehabilitation teams, supporting people to manage a range of long-term conditions. Thirdly, place greater value and more focus on supported career pathways for physios wanting to remain generalists or rehab centric, as at the end of the day, that's what we're here to do. And finally, change the way we approach treating patients from a biomedical to a biopsychosocial model across healthcare, and provide training at all levels for this. This, and focusing on lifestyle and prevention, is the only way our healthcare system will thrive. For more on helping your patients with lifestyle changes to improve their overall health and well-being, check out my lifestyle playlist next. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you on the next video.